Pina coladas for breakfast? Yeah, just don't add the rum. You see, your doctor says this is bad for you. But if you're fed up with edema, then this tropical treat could be exactly what the doctor ordered. It works thanks to a surprising factor I call the Goldilocks effect. And once it's triggered, it could activate a powerful network buried deep inside of you. One that could flush extra fluid right out of your body. Best of all, this mouth-watering drink isn't some wonder drug cooked up in a lab. In fact, you can find most of the ingredients right in your local supermarket. I should warn you though, when you try this drink yourself, make sure you chug it down in 5 minutes flat, because when you do, the 3 natural health boosters inside can kick edema to the curb. So what are these delicious health boosters? Well, first up is pineapple. It's packed with bromelain. You may not realize it, but inflammation actually weakens your skin, and that makes it easier for bacteria to invade your body and cause cellulitis. Bromelain crushes the enzymes that cause inflammation, so your skin stays strong and healthy. Next, we have limes. Now I confess, I have a bit of a love affair going on with limes. That's because they contain coumarin, which can ease the tightness and tension and heaviness in your legs and feet. But you don't want the fruit. What you need is the peel. And I know it's a bit unusual, but I have a banana in here too. It adds just the right amount of sweetness, and it's full of potassium and fiber. Most people don't realize high blood sugar causes your body to swell up like a sponge. Fiber balances your blood sugar so your body flushes all that extra fluid instead. Now, potassium is absolutely critical when it comes to edema. I'll explain why in a moment, but first, the finale, coconut cream. I love coconut cream. First of all, it's rich in MCTs, or medium chain triglycerides. Your body loves these. And if you haven't heard of them, they're good fats that work wonders for your health. They help stabilize cholesterol levels, boost your immune system, and are a great source of energy that your body just loves. They even help switch on your body's fat-burning furnace, which can help you get slim, fit, and in shape again. But I especially love coconut cream because it's rich in electrolytes. I'm talking about potassium, magnesium, and phosphorus. Getting more of these in your diet is critical, especially if you're taking water pills. If you've got muscle cramps or tingling and numbness in your hands and feet, then this could be the reason why. Now, this scrumptious cocktail can go a long way to helping you feel better, but there are 3 other foods you can add to your diet that can knock these out of the park. They'll help reduce edema, ease inflammation, and restore circulation in your legs, feet, and ankles. And they can do it even if cutting out salt, elevating legs, and compression bandages haven't worked for you. The reason they work has to do with something I call the Goldilocks effect. And once you activate it, you could dramatically improve your health, which means you could get long-lasting relief from your edema and get back the mobility, the freedom, and the independence you once had. And that's not all, because once you get this critical system running again, it can also reboot your entire body so you can finally live the healthy, happy life you deserve. So you sleep better, have more energy, and experience less stress. It could even help your skin feel soft, smooth, and supple again. It's all thanks to a powerful plant used in natural medicine since ancient times. In fact, it's so important, the Pilgrims actually brought it over with them on the Mayflower. Chances are good you've got this simple plant growing in your backyard at this very moment. I'll show you how it works and how to use it to activate the Goldilocks effect right away, but first I should introduce myself. Hi, my name is Dr. Blaine Schilling. Over the last 32 years, I've helped thousands of patients to improve their health and wellness through holistic approaches. I've served small, underprivileged communities in Alabama as a family physician. I've also worked with large healthcare organizations and hospitals all over the country to provide better quality and low-cost care to their patients. But every time I think I've seen it all, there's one thing that always gets my goat, and that's seeing how many doctors insist on using treatments that just don't work. Take scurvy, for example. The doctor who discovered the cure, vitamin C, refused to use it in his own medical practice. And it wasn't until 42 years later when he died that it became the standard treatment for scurvy. And did you know doctors used to burn out gunshot wounds with boiling oil? Yeah, and it was just as horribly painful as you think it was. It wasn't until a French surgeon ran out of oil that doctors realized that it just made things worse. And there are plenty of modern examples too. There was insulin for schizophrenia, vitamin K for heart attacks, and HRT therapy for menopause, which actually increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and breast cancer. There's no doubt about it. When it comes to innovative new ways to treat patients, most doctors are the last ones to get on board. That's why when it comes to helping people make real lasting changes to their health, I'm ready to do whatever it takes to help find a solution. And while there aren't any magic pills that wipe out a condition overnight, there are plenty of highly effective natural treatments that can help you live a happier and healthier, longer life. So when I heard about a simple way to help people get relief from swollen legs, feet, and ankles, I knew I had to find out more. You see, I've always known the key to helping people feel better and stay that way is to get to the absolute root of the problem. That's why when I stumbled on a surprising new study, I knew I'd finally found the missing piece of the edema puzzle. And once I saw it, I realized right away it was exactly what we needed to get to the heart of what really causes edema. It has everything to do with an imbalance of two very specific substances in your body. And in this presentation, I'll reveal 3 natural foods that you can use to activate the Goldilocks effect and finally get long-lasting relief from edema. Amazingly, some people even say these edema busters work as well or even better than water pills. And they're safer too. Best of all, you can find these 3 edema busters right at your local supermarket. I'll also share with you one more fantastic edema buster. Now, it's not food, but it's incredible at reducing the pain and heaviness that's so common in edema. And it only takes about 7 seconds, and you can do it right before breakfast. You can add it to your toolbox as soon as you finish watching this presentation. But I gotta warn you, what you're about to hear is probably gonna make you hopping mad. In fact, when I heard it myself, I was madder than a wet hen. You see, mainstream medicine would like you to believe you're getting the latest, most up-to-date treatment that there is. Well, imagine my surprise when I learned the truth. It turns out that the standard treatment for swollen legs is based on a faulty theory that's more than 120 years old. They've been busted time and time again, but they still keep pulling the same old shenanigans. I can't say I'm surprised though. Mainstream medicine has never been intended to make you healthy. It's all about selling you another drug, whether you need it or not. And while you struggle to put food on the table, they're laughing all the way to the bank. In my mind, this is the most callous betrayal of everyday folk that I've seen in a long time. In fact, there's a simple secret that can get you back on your feet again. And when you hear it, you're going to be shocked at how simple it is. But to understand it, you first need to understand why doctors have it all wrong when it comes to edema. You see, for years, doctors thought that when it comes to edema, you only need to worry about your circulatory system, which is your heart, your blood vessels, and kidneys. But here's the problem. When it comes to swollen legs and feet, there's another system that's even more powerful. It's called your lymphatic system. And when it comes to clearing out excess liquid from your body, it's a real superhero. Think of it as the drain pipe for your body. Here's how it works. Running through your entire body are tiny tubes. They're called lymph vessels, and they're a lot like blood vessels, but smaller. However, instead of carrying blood through your body like blood vessels do, your lymph vessels carry lymph fluid. Now, lymph fluid is basically the sewer water of your body because it contains the toxins, bacteria, and bad cells your body needs to get rid of. What happens is this wastewater, the lymph fluid, gets sent through your lymph vessels to your lymph nodes. You probably already know about the ones in your neck. And maybe you've also heard about the ones under your arms and in your groin. But what you may not realize is that you have about 800 of these lymph nodes scattered throughout your entire body. Now that's a lot, but it just goes to show you how important they are. They, along with your lymph vessels, help your body get rid of all that wastewater before it wreaks havoc on your health. However, if any part of your lymphatic system gets clogged up, then it can be disastrous. Have you ever had your toilet back up? Well, this is a lot like that, but way worse. Your legs and feet swell up, and your body fills up with toxins, bacteria, and cell waste, just like a toilet bowl full to the brim with, well, you get the idea. It's painful, and it skyrockets your risk of catching dangerous infections. Do you see now why water pills won't do a darn thing when it comes to treating edema? Water pills are fine for water retention. They do a great job of flushing out the water in your blood vessels. But what's backing up in your legs and feet isn't water. And it isn't in your blood vessels. So there's no chance in the world they can tackle the root cause of your edema. What's worse is that diuretics can cause serious damage to your health. They can cause an imbalance in your electrolytes, which can lead to muscle cramps, weakness, and irregular heartbeat. It can even cause seizures. They can lower your blood pressure, which can increase the risk of falls, especially in older people. And worst of all, long-term use of diuretics can double your risk of kidney damage. When I realized how many people are suffering needlessly just because some boy wonder in a fancy high-rise wants to buy another vacation home, I was fit to be tied. But here's the good news. Because if a clogged lymphatic system can cause wastewater to back up, blocking your pipes and causing your legs and feet to blow up like sausages, then the opposite is also true. You can unclog your lymphatic system and flush out that nasty wastewater and restore your circulation again. And once you get all these toxins, bacteria, and bad cells flowing out of your body, you could see a dramatic improvement in your health. You could put an end to painful swelling in your legs, feet, and ankles. Ease that tight, heavy feeling. Get relief from tender and sensitive skin. Fight skin ulcers. Improve redness and discoloration, and enjoy more energy, better mobility, and more freedom than you've had in years. That's where the Goldilocks effect comes in. You see, over the last several months, a team of scientists and researchers have dug into every single journal, article, and study that they could find about edema. And they discovered something absolutely fascinating. Your body has its own roto-rooter that's perfect for flushing out wastewater out of your body. And once you activate it, this remarkable system keeps your lymph vessels open wide, making sure that they stay open. And while there are dozens of compounds that can help tackle the root cause of edema, my team and I have narrowed it down to the most powerful substances out there. The first edema buster is a powerful compound. It's something herbalists have used for thousands of years to heal their patients. It's called coumarin, and you can find it in the peels of citrus fruits like lemons, grapefruit, and oranges, and as I have mentioned earlier, my favorite, limes. It turns out when it comes to tackling edema, coumarin is remarkably effective. Take this study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, for example. Researchers wondered if a safe natural substance like coumarin could help people struggling with edema. They decided to test it using the gold standard of research, the double-blind crossover trial. So they recruited patients suffering from edema in their arms or their legs and divided them up into 4 groups. Half of them received the placebo first, and the other half hit it lucky and got coumarin. After tallying up the results, scientists were stunned at the results, because while those who took the placebo saw their edema stay the same or even get worse, whereas the people who took the coumarin were thrilled to see drastic changes for the better. In fact, participants with swollen legs saw the fluid in their legs go down by a whopping 33%. But that's not all they discovered. It turns out the worse off the participants were, the faster they saw results. Even better, coumarin helped relieve the tight, hard, heavy feeling in their legs, too. One of the reasons I like recommending coumarin to my patients is because it doesn't just help unclog your lymph system, it also helps boost the circulation in your blood vessels too, which means it could put an end to the cold feet and get rid of that uncomfortable pins and needles sensation. Now, personally, my favorite source of coumarin are lemon peels, because in addition to coumarin, they're full of calcium and potassium. They're also jam-packed with antioxidants, which are great for your heart. They even contain fiber, which is always a good way to stabilize your blood sugar. And they have more than twice the amount of vitamin C than the fruit, which makes them one of the easiest and most inexpensive ways to boost your immune system. The great thing about lemon peels is that they're easy to add to your diet. Next up is my second edema buster, and I think you're going to be pretty surprised once you see what it is. You see, after examining dozens of studies, my team and I discovered one everyday food that's worse than smoking, drinking, and air pollution. And would you believe it's 10 times worse than salt and sugar? So what is this deadly food? It's vegetable oil. And experts say it's so dangerous that just 3 tablespoons of it are as bad as smoking 2 cigarettes a day. You may be wondering what that has to do with the edema in your legs and feet. It turns out, everything. You already know that clogged lymph vessels are the real reason for your edema. But you might be wondering how this clogging happens. Now, there are several factors that can cause your lymph vessels to get backed up, but one of the most important ones is inflammation. And vegetable oils are one of the biggest culprits. You see, inflammation damages your lymph vessels. That makes it harder for the valves to open and close, which blocks lymph fluid from flowing out of your body. So what should you do? Well, first of all, it's always a good idea to limit the amount of vegetable oils you eat and substitute healthier ones like olive oil and avocado oil. But I know that's going to be difficult for many people. And that's why I recommend adding a second edema buster, bromelain, to your diet. Of course, pineapple is one way to do that, which is why I have included it in my edema busting cocktail. You see, in addition to waste material, your lymph fluid also contains proteins. These proteins block up your lymph vessels and lymph nodes and damage the tissue in your legs and feet. However, bromelain contains a powerful enzyme that breaks down these proteins. That helps reduce inflammation and allows the lymph fluid to drain right out of your body. And amazingly, studies show that bromelain speeds that up by an astonishing 50%, which means it's a must-have. Now, before I show you my last edema buster, there's something you should know. For years, doctors have been preaching about the dangers of salt. However, study after study proves it's not the amount of sodium you need to worry about, it's the ratio of sodium to another important mineral in your body, potassium. Now, potassium and sodium aren't just minerals, they're electrolytes too. And when it comes to staying hydrated, they're critical. If you have kids, you might remember your doctor asking you to make sure they stay hydrated when they get sick, and he might have suggested giving them an electrolyte drink. They won't let me say the name, but it rhymes with Medialyte. Athletes are into electrolyte drinks for the same reason, and it's because electrolytes help maintain the balance of fluid in your body. Now, obviously, if you're suffering from edema, then there's a problem with that. So here's the truth. And in my opinion, this is just another example of mainstream willingness to throw your health under the bus. When you take water pills, they drastically affect the balance of fluid in your body. By making you pee more, they're washing out essential electrolytes like potassium and magnesium. And your body must have these electrolytes in order to move fluid in and out of your cells. When you're low on potassium and magnesium, it can make your edema even worse. It can also cause irreparable damage to your kidneys. Now, most people don't get enough of these in their diet. For example, you need 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day. You'd have to eat about 10 bananas just to come close to that number. And I don't recommend doing that, by the way. It might have some unpleasant consequences. However, there is one food that's packed with both potassium and magnesium, and that's the third edema buster. It's called kelp. And 1 cup contains a whopping amount of both potassium and magnesium. Magnesium helps control the amount of fluid in your body and can help stop swelling, especially in your legs and feet. It also strengthens your muscles and nerves, which keeps your blood flowing properly. That makes it a great way to add a natural source of magnesium to your diet. Now, there's one thing you should know. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, then that means you're also getting high amounts of sodium too. Frankly, even if you're eating a sodium-free diet, but you're low on potassium, it's still a problem. Remember, I mentioned the Goldilocks effect earlier? When you're dealing with edema, maintaining the right balance of fluids in your lymph vessels is absolutely essential. You don't want too much because obviously that leads to swelling. But you don't want too little either because then you won't have enough to wash away all the toxins and bacteria that are floating around in your body. That's not all though. Not having enough electrolytes is actually life-threatening. It can lead to muscle weakness, heart problems, and even paralysis. Again, when it comes to sodium and potassium, you need the right amount of both. Potassium works together with sodium to create the perfect balance of fluids in your body. You have to address that imbalance to improve your edema and avoid more serious health issues. Now, there's one more compelling reason for adding kelp to your diet, and it has to do with your cholesterol. That might seem like out of left field, but hang in there for me a minute. Scientists ran a surprising study with mice. Now, these weren't regular mice. They were specially bred to have high cholesterol. When they ran a blood test on the mice, they were surprised to notice one thing, and this was completely unexpected. The mice with high cholesterol levels also had damage to their lymphatic systems. In fact, the higher their levels were, the more edema they had. I did some digging into this, and I discovered that along with getting rid of all that waste, your lymph vessels dump cholesterol out of your body too. If they're not working right, then those fatty deposits build up and narrow your lymph vessels. If you think about it, that makes sense because this is just what happens with your blood vessels. So why should your lymph system be any different? Fat is fat wherever it ends up. Kelp, on the other hand, contains a substance called fucoxanthin. There's some early research that shows that fucoxanthin can help reduce levels of cholesterol, which means it could be helpful in breaking up those plaques and getting them out of your body. So when it comes to edema, it's a real double hitter. You definitely want to make sure to include it on your next shopping list. Next up is one of the most surprising edema busters. It's so powerful, the Pilgrims even took it with them on the Mayflower. It's called Tarazacum officinale, but you may recognize it by its common name, dandelion. And even though most homeowners spend their time trying to get rid of them, new research proves our ancestors were right all along. When it comes to your edema, dandelion packs a powerful punch. It turns out dandelion contains 2 natural compounds called tarazacin and tarazacerin. Both of these give your kidneys a push so you pee more and pee often. And although most conventional diuretics lower your potassium levels, dandelion actually raises them. That's because the leaves contain a surprisingly high amount of potassium, which means it actually helps protect the health of your kidneys and your heart. In fact, it works so well, it is actually listed as a non-prescription medicine in Germany. Okay, so now you know my top 4 edema busters. Every one of these can help you ease pain, reduce inflammation, and flush your lymph vessels of that nasty waste water. But the real power of these foods happens when they are combined together. That's because while each one of these is powerful in its own right, together they make up a medley of superfoods that are absolutely astonishing. Look, There's no reason why you have to hobble along on bloated legs and swollen feet, especially when there's an all-natural, proven solution that could help you get back on your feet again. Just imagine how different things could be. You could go for a lazy afternoon walk with your spouse, or spend a day out shopping with your friends, or visit the park with your grandkids. And instead of hiding your edema behind baggy pants and ugly shoes, you could finally wear all of your favorite clothes again. There's no doubt about it. Once you feel like yourself again, everything could change. No more relying on your friends and family to help you do the simplest of things. Instead, you'd be happier, healthier, and more independent, and you'd finally be able to live the life that you deserve. Look, I know these 4 edema busters can make a huge difference in your life. My colleagues and I have been recommending them for years now, and we've seen hundreds of people have life-changing results. However, it's not always easy. First of all, many foods are nutrient poor. That's because large corporations are planting and harvesting crops in ways that help them grow more, but are bad for the soil. This prevents plants from absorbing nutrients from the soil. At the same time, oil spills and raw sewage can make it hard to harvest good quality kelp and dandelion. Even if you manage to find all the foods you need, you still need to eat it all. And the sheer amount that you'd have to eat every day could be overwhelming. That's why I decided to take matters into my own hands. I got together with the experts at Sanolabs, who created a fast, effective solution guaranteed to give you long-lasting relief from your edema. It's called Lymphatic System Support, and it's the only support specifically designed to tackle the root cause of your edema, your lymph vessels. Every single ingredient is scientifically proven to help unclog your lymph vessels and flush the wastewater out of your system. If you want to decrease water retention, reduce edema, relieve discomfort, ease heaviness, decrease inflammation, and feel stronger with more energy than you've had in years, then lymphatic system support is the best way to do that. But even though lymphatic system support works like gangbusters, we decided to make it even more powerful with these herbs. First up is echinacea. This pretty purple flower was first discovered by the Plains Indians, who used it to treat everything from colds to cancer. Since then, it's become so popular, it's a staple in nearly every healer's cabinet. In fact, before the discovery of antibiotics, it was the go-to treatment for doctors. And though you may think of it as a natural remedy for a cold or a flu, it's full of potent compounds that boost your immune system and fight infection. That's a lifesaver because a weak immune system can up your risk of getting cellulitis, a type of infection that can turn deadly. You know, so many of my patients spend hours worrying about every blister, wart, or pimple that pops up on their legs. But thanks to echinacea, you'll finally be able to rest easy again. Next up is burdock root. It looks like a weirdly shaped carrot. But don't be fooled by its looks, because once you hear how well this simple little veggie works, you'll wonder how you managed without it. It turns out burdock root is a potent blood purifier. That's important because when your lymph vessels don't work, all the toxins and waste matter build up in your body. Burdock root flushes toxins right out of your body so you feel stronger and full of energy again. But while that's pretty amazing, the team wasn't done yet. They added 2 more edema-busting ingredients proven to help you look and feel your best. They're called cleavers and rutin. And when it comes to keeping your lymph vessels free and clear, this is just what your body needs. Together, this dynamic duo flush out your lymph vessels, improve circulation, and reduce inflammation. One thing's for sure, when it comes to ending your edema, every one of these ingredients is a winner. That means before you know it, you could start feeling better than you have in years. No more worrying if your legs will get even worse. No more alligator skin, and no more funky smells. You don't have to put your life on hold waiting for things to get better because of being stuck inside, exhausted, and embarrassed. You could finally do what you want to do. You could take up a new hobby, visit your old school friends, or just spend a lazy day at the beach. Because once your lymphatic system is up and running again, everything changes. You could be happier, healthier, and have more energy. And you could have more confidence and fun than you've had in years. When you get right down to it, lymphatic system support could be the simplest, most effective way to get rid of your edema and get back to living again. There's no reason for you to suffer anymore, especially when you've got a powerful science-backed option like lymphatic system support. And it gets even better. When I first thought about how much to charge for this new formula, my colleagues said I should charge $100. They said after adding in the cost of the high-quality ingredients and making sure that they're responsibly sourced, I'd be a fool to charge less. They told me anyone who was serious about putting an end to their edema would snatch it up and see an incredible difference in their health. I know times are hard. Some people are living on a fixed income. Others are helping loved ones who lost their jobs. And some of you are having a hard time making ends meet no matter how hard you work. I don't want to be the person who stands between you and a whole new life. That's why I went back one more time to Sanolabs and got them to lower the price one last time. And as a special gift for watching this until the very end, I'd like to give you a special deal. If you order right now, you can secure your supply of lymphatic system support for just $49 a bottle. That's only $1.63 a day, or less than what it costs to buy a candy bar. At a whopping 50% of the original price, it's a real deal. But like I said, it's only because you watched this video until the very end. So go ahead, click the button below. Oh, there's just one more thing. I strongly recommend you get more than one bottle of lymphatic system support. You see, the team of scientists at Sanolabs search the world over to bring you the highest quality, most potent ingredients that we can. And they test every ingredient before it leaves their labs to ensure it can be the best that it can be. But with all the shortages right now, I can't guarantee they'll always have some in stock. Imagine finally getting rid of your edema, walking around and doing all the things you love. You head back to the page you bookmarked only to find a big red out of stock banner. It could be weeks or even months until we're back in stock again, which means you could end up stuck with tree trunk legs all over again just because you ran out of lymphatic system support. That's why it makes sense to stock up on a 3-month supply. Plus, the more you buy, the bigger the discount I can get you. So you could end up just paying $42 a bottle. The best way to make sure you have enough lymphatic system support is to click on the button below. The folks at Sanolabs will ship it out to you in 24 hours. No need to worry about it. You'll get an email as soon as it's shipped. Oh, and be sure to tell your family it's on its way. I know once it hits your doorstep, you'll want to try it out right away. But they want you to be completely comfortable buying. That's why I'd like to offer you our down to the last capsule guarantee. I want you to feel 100% confident that lymphatic system support can help you put an end to your edema and revitalize your health. That's why I'd like to give you a full 365 days to see if it's right for you. That's right, you'll get a full year to try it out and see how much better you feel. I guarantee you will see a significant difference in your edema and experience a noticeable change in your health. If for any reason you're not thrilled with your results, all you have to do is send the friendly customer service team an email. They'll refund every single penny with no hassles or anything. It's that simple. You have nothing to lose by trying lymphatic system support, except the edema that's stopping you from living the life you deserve. Plus, if you order now, you'll get 2 free bonus ebooks that will help you improve your health even more. The first one is called Simple Steps to Lowering Your Cholesterol in 4 Weeks Without a Prescription. If you're struggling with edema, there's a good chance your cholesterol levels aren't what they should be. That's why I've prepared this special report for you. In it, you will discover 10 fast, effective ways to lower your cholesterol naturally, and a laughably simple way to lower your bad cholesterol levels by as much as 15%. You can do this easy trick right in your own home. Plus, it might even help you burn belly fat. All in all, if you're looking for a natural way to reduce your cholesterol levels without the hassle, then you'll want to read this bonus ebook. But we're just getting started because the second bonus ebook is even more important. It's called How to Spot Hidden Health Problems, and in it, you'll discover 7 weird signs that could mean you have a serious health problem. For example, did you know that ridges on your nails could be a sign of a common but concerning vitamin deficiency? And would you believe a crease on one part of your body means it could be a sign your arteries are blocked? We'll show you exactly what these are and what to do right inside your free bonus ebook. Both of these special health bonus books sell for $39.95 each, but when you order now, Sanolabs will include them for free. They're yours to keep, whatever you decide. But remember, this special discount is only for those who have watched this video. Look, you don't have to wake up to another day of the same old, the heaviness and the constant ache. The skin that's so tight and discolored it doesn't even look human anymore. You don't have to keep hiding the pain because your family doesn't understand how bad things are. You can get out of this. You have a choice. But let me tell you, in my experience, edema doesn't go away on its own. In fact, it usually gets worse. And when that happens, the only solution mainstream medicine has is to cut away the bloated part of your leg. But things don't have to get that bad. You can give yourself permission to live the life you deserve. Click the button below to try out lymphatic system support now. And remember, this special offer is only available while this video is open or until supplies run out. Don't forget, you'll also receive the down to the last capsule guarantee, which means you have 365 days to try out lymphatic system support. If you're not thrilled with your purchase for any reason, they will return your money right away. Still here? I'm guessing that's because you still have some questions about lymphatic system support. No problem. I'm happy to answer some of the most common questions that we hear. How is lymphatic system support different from other supplements? Most supplements that claim to help with your edema don't actually address the clogged lymph system. Instead, they focus on enhancing circulation in your blood vessels. While it's always a great idea to have good blood circulation, as you've already seen, that won't help unclog your lymph vessels. Second, the folks at Sanolabs have chosen the most powerful ingredients out there for unclogging your lymph system and flushing out the toxins, waste, and dead cells. This is based on years of research into the Goldilocks effect and the lymphatic system. My team and I spent months investigating every single ingredient, making sure there's a scientific basis for every single one. The biggest difference is that lymphatic system support tackles edema on all four fronts. First, it unclogs your lymph vessels. Second, lymphatic system support flushes all the toxins, dead cells, and wastewater from your body. Third, it replaces the critical electrolytes your body has lost through the edema and water pills. And fourth, it helps strengthen your body's immune system, protecting you from serious infection while your body repairs itself. What ingredients are inside lymphatic system support? This supplement contains 100% high-quality ingredients. If you'd like to see the full list of ingredients, just click the button below. You can scroll down and you'll see the ingredients along with the dosage. We're extraordinarily careful about where our ingredients come from. We search the world over to find the highest quality, most responsibly sourced herbs. And every single raw ingredient must have a certificate of analysis for potency and purity to prove it. But that's not all. If you're not careful, the manufacturing process can destroy the active ingredients that make herbs work. So we run special tests during the manufacturing process to make sure every product is pure and potent before it reaches your hands. Plus, they don't use any antibiotics, artificial sweeteners, colors, or preservatives. More importantly, however, I've made a pledge never to support a product that I wouldn't give to my family or my friends. That means that every ingredient has to get my approval before I endorse any product. Who can use lymphatic system support? Lymphatic system support is for men and women who want long-lasting relief from the discomfort and swelling of edema. Your lymph vessels flush dead cells, waste, and toxins out of your body. However, high cholesterol, fat, and other factors can clog your lymph vessels, preventing all of that wastewater from being expelled from your body. When that happens, the fluid builds up, causing pain, edema, and inflammation. Lymphatic system support helps unclog your lymph vessels and flushes everything right out of your body. And since many types of water pills lower your electrolyte levels, we've included ingredients that can help restore your electrolyte levels too. However, as a doctor, I know there's no supplement that works for everyone. There is usually a small percentage of people who may be allergic or who may not be able to tolerate one of the ingredients. If you're concerned, I recommend you consult your doctor before starting any new dietary supplement. Is lymphatic system support safe? Lymphatic system support is a natural supplement that helps fight edema. With the right nutritional combinations, I believe taking lymphatic system support will help you see fantastic results. If you do happen to notice anything unusual, please discontinue use and consult your physician immediately. How do I use lymphatic system support? Sanolabs scientists recommend that you take 2 capsules once a day. For best results, you should take 2 capsules 20 to 30 minutes before a meal with 1 cup of water. Should I use lymphatic system support long term? Definitely. Your lymph vessels work hard every day filtering harmful substances from your entire body. They never take a day off. That's why you'll want to make sure your lymph vessels have the nutrients they need to stay healthy and clog-free. Just 2 capsules of lymphatic system a day. Give your body what it needs to keep those lymph vessels open, flush toxins out of your system, and support healthy inflammation levels. They also ensure your body always has enough electrolytes, which are critical for heart health. So that about covers things. I'm thrilled you're finally going to have the opportunity to try out lymphatic system support. So click the button below to try it out, and don't forget to let us know how much better you feel.